Hey, my beautiful people. Good evening and thankful Tuesday, terrific Tuesday. I pray that this message finds you well, healthy, and in great spirits. I want to welcome you to my YouTube channel. This has been a work in progress for me. I had to adopt a mindset of a beginner's mindset and kind of fumble through stuff, trial and error, and still figuring it out. It's still not 100% complete and not the way that I totally want it. However, it's going to be what it is, and it is going to be exactly what it's meant to be. My name is Eleanor Foster. Eleanor M. Foster. That is where EMF mixed thoughts come from. Derives from. I created mixed thoughts for a variety of reasons. I am definitely God's chosen, and this last couple of years has been some of the most challenging, but also the most blessed because of the healing and the lessons that I've learned through my therapy and in drawing closer to God. I was forged in the fire. I've been through a lot in my life. I've been to hell and back. The Phoenix Rising. They talk about the Phoenix Rising, but they never talk about the fire and the trauma, the scratching and scraping, and the getting through the tough times and the tough situations and overcoming and enduring and everything that it took to be able to rise from the ashes. And that is representative of my life. I was definitely forged in the fire, and I have so much life experiences. I endured so much. I've gone through, I've dealt with, I've accepted so much that I will be covering on this channel in various stories, and I'm a talker. I'm definitely a storyteller, and I will be covering all the things necessary and required in hopes that my testimony, the lessons that I've learned through therapy and healing and drawing closer to God, and going from not feeling worthy, not feeling enough, never felt like I belonged. Even in a room full of people, I felt alone, and I didn't have the validation for myself. I have never had safety and security. I have never had acceptance for who I am, good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. And in my life, because of everything that I've gone through, I carried that and wore that like a second skin, and I defined myself by it. Ultimately, feeling unworthy, not enough, not valuing myself, not thinking highly of myself, accepting less than desirable treatment, abusive relationships, always being the one to show up, be there, support, sacrifice my time, energy, effort, resources, and even at times the expense of myself, in order to support other people. I gave up my dreams or the things that I wanted for myself in order so other people can have. And in the back of my mind, I hoped that I would be able to receive these things in return, and it never came, along with a lack of also, I didn't get the appreciation, value, consideration, and I just did not have the love ever reciprocated for me in the ways that I wanted or desired for myself. And in this last year and a half, going on 2 years, I have learned so many lessons. I got myself in therapy to start healing and addressing, facing, confronting the things that I've endured and experienced. I had to be honest, completely and brutally honest and accountable with myself, but also about the people in my family, the people that I've loved, the people that I've allowed in my life. I've had to learn hard lessons. There's been a divine pruning in my life, and my circle is almost non existent. Um, I've battled so many things and gone up and down in my weight. Um, like I say, always having a goal and, a big picture or goal in my life. And when I didn't meet that goal, then I would beat myself up. So I was very hard on myself, a lot of self sabotaging, self hatred types of behaviors. And I kept going through the same loops and perpetual cycles. Where I would get ahead and seem like there was progress, only to be knocked off and knocked back, and then have to build myself up to get the momentum to push forward again and keep going. But it was this same perpetual cycle. I struggle with and have mental health, was diagnosed with PTSD, depression, anxiety, ADHD. So that's a whole that's a whole another realm. I've gone up and down in my weight. My biggest, I was over 300 pounds. I was married. Now I'm divorced. I have kids and family. Unfortunately, we're more separated and divided than I would like. So still praying for our healing and restoration. I had my daughter when I was 14 years old. So having a baby at 14, there was definitely some things where I wasn't feeling worthy. I wasn't feeling enough. I was always seeking and yearning for something that was missing in me. And there is just so much more. Abusive relationships, accepting less than desirable treatment, holding on to hopes and promises and people's words to be let down, disappointed, and just not for people not to follow through, and negating the treatment in the moment. There's just so many things that I've endured, and so much more. That that's just a bit of a rundown for you. And in therapy and healing, I had to address, I had to face, I had to confront, I had to be honest, I had to put stuff on the table and really look at it. And in doing that, I had to be honest about the people in my life. However, I had to be honest about the role that I played as well. And in life, we always say, things happen because of the other person, but there's two people in every relationship, in every situation. And we always have to be able to look at ourselves and the roles that we played, and why it is that things went the way that it did, why we accepted the things that we did, why things turned out in the ways that, or why did things unfold in the ways that they did. And yes, there were other people in every one of my situations, but I played a role in that. So I had to address it, look at it, and be brutally and completely honest with myself. Take accountability. And that you have to be honest and you have to be accountable in order to learn the lesson and in order to move forward and be better for it and from it. Because once you learn a lesson, you're not going to endure the same things again. I also had I cared so much about what other people thought. I had a hard time. I took other people's opinions and thoughts and ideas in when it came to me making major decisions for my life. I didn't even trust myself. And so much of my life, like I say, I sought validation. I needed to feel something, and I cared so much about what people thought that, like I say, I made drastic choices about my life with other people's opinions weighed in on my decisions. So I wasn't always strong enough to stand in who I was. I didn't know who I was, didn't value who I was. And over the last year and a half, going on 2 years, I, through my therapy and healing, I addressed stuff, I faced stuff. I learned my lessons. I took accountability. I had to forgive not only the people who trespassed against me and did me wrong, I also had to forgive myself for the things that I allowed and the things that I accepted along the way. I also, because I was by myself, I didn't grow up in the church, but God was the only thing that I had during this time, the only connection, the only one that I can lean on and go to. God is the first unconditional love that I've ever received. God is the only one that has ever chosen me, and until I chose myself. And it has been challenging. Solitude in the wilderness is not for the faint of hearts. It is not easy. But learning my identity in God has been such a beautiful blessing, because learning my identity in God has also taught me how to love myself and is teaching me how to love myself. And I am at a place where I'm healed. I am honoring, loving, respecting, and valuing myself in a way that I never have. I'm standing firm and resolute and strong and confident in who I am, even if that means by myself. And coming from a house with 4+ people, never being alone, to actually being alone, it was a lot to process. It was a game changer. So there are many lessons that are going to be coming through this, and in my therapy, healing trauma, I'm learning to love myself, build myself, grow and expand myself, to now know that I'm worthy, I'm more than enough, to be confident in who I am, to trust myself without having to go to other people or needing validation from people. I no longer seek or yearn for validation from people. I've been validated by God. I don't need that from man. So there's so many beautiful things that have come over this last year, but it hasn't been almost 2 years, but it has not been easy. It has been challenging, and I'm pretty much still in solitude. And I am continuing to work on myself and do all that I need to do to be the best that I can be. I'm still praying for my soul tribe, my divine partnerships, and my divine union. Ultimately, I am still praying for my family's healing and restoration. And until then, I am going to continue to work on me, live my life fully and authentically, be who I am, authentically and unapologetically. And I am going to use this mixed thoughts, because it's going to be a variety of mediums. There are going to be videos. There will ultimately be a podcast. I am following the nudges to where God is calling me. And it was shown that through my testimony, I'm going to help to encourage and inspire people. And am this is my debut on YouTube, y'all. I pray that y'all come along with me and follow me, and that the lessons and the things that I've learned and the things that I share, I pray that they bless you and they help you either to get stronger in yourself, in your situations, or possibly to avoid having to go through something that I've already experienced. So come along with me, y'all. And this is, again, my name is Eleanor M. Foster. And this is my mixed thoughts, y'all. This is my mixed thoughts. Welcome to my channel. I am excited for this journey. And I'm also nervous because but I'm gonna set that aside because nervous and excitement is the same thing. We're gonna put that to the side and leave that right there. But this is new. I have not in my life. I was not avid poster on social media. Um, even in the help that I gave, I was okay with being in the background, and I've been called higher. God said it's time to step out of the shadows. No more shrinking. No more dimming my light to make other people comfortable. It's time to use my voice, and my testimony is going to help heal, inspire, and give other people the freedom to be authentically who they are. Um, and I am going to always follow God's word so that I can remain in God's will always. I will not do this life without God. And I will stay divinely connected, divinely guided, and I am divinely protected. Thank God, because spiritual warfare and the attacks have been coming, and I thank God that I am still standing sound mind, body, and spirit, and it's only because of God. I am God's chosen. I am a light worker. I am definitely an earth angel, y'all. So subscribe, come along with me on this journey, and I pray that my stories and the things that I share, I pray that they bless you. Welcome to EMF, Mixed Thoughts. All right, my beautiful people, here we go. Come on this journey with me. Don't be scared. I don't bite unless you like. All right, my beautiful people. Talk to you later, and thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your support, for your care, for checking me out, and even taking a chance on me. And then it's gonna be thank you for loving me the way that you do. Because once you get a taste of me, look, you're stuck with me. This bright light can get addicting, and and I plan to shine my light brightly and unapologetically, and I pray that it blesses y'all. So come on with me. This is EMF Mixed Thoughts. Here we go. Come on, y'all. Subscribe. I'll see you soon.